have? Classic Capri. Should be able to have a 62 or 64, would you? Something on that sort of line. Let me see. Oh, this is an early one, maybe 61-ish. Flagship Ford in their day, no question about it. They were called a 315 Consul Capri. That's what they were called. We then shortened it or added Classic Capri because the classic version, same car at the front, 4-door or 2-door. 2-door Classic, 4-door Classic, but not a coupe. A 1340 engine and a 1500 engine. Now, I don't know whether you could buy a 1340 or a 15 in a Capri. I think you maybe could. But until recently, I always thought that the Capris only carried the 1500 engine, but I do believe you could buy them in 1340 engine size as well. So I'm not too sure about that. There'll be people out there that know more about these than I do. In fact, I'll find out. But flagship car, like I say, for Fords, just everyone just were amazed at them. Wrong wheels, obviously. Were totally amazed because they just looked so revolutionary. I mean, you imagine this car in 1961 on the British roads in London, for argument's sake, when most of the cars still were pre-war cars, majority of them. If they weren't pre-war cars, they were maybe 1950s, which were very reminiscent of pre-war cars. So when this came out, oh, it's like a flying machine, just like I say, flagship Ford. And I always think myself, a bit like Bentley Mark 6s come out in 1947. And when you can imagine one of them running around the North Circular, passing Austin 7s, where the wind must have almost knocked the Austin 7s over, like tipped them over, such a big, fast car. And you imagine these in 1961, when most of the cars on the road were pre-war or Ford prefect, for argument's sake, sit-up and begs, and this was coming out. What a car! I mean, just like a spaceship, really. And here we have one, Goodwood Green, ever so sensibly reserved. I can imagine the car making something like £6,000. You're not going to buy a Capri any cheaper than that, I don't think. It looks solid. It wants a paint job. It's got the wrong wheels, but you can sell them and put standard wheels back on, can't you? Inside is quite good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Armrest has gone there, unfortunately. We can have that repaired easy enough. New set of carpets, but that's no trouble. Covered our carpets, soon sell you them, won't they? But the upholstery itself will clean up quite nice. Look, just dirty, filthy. But this is an exact car that even without touching the paintwork, you could clean 500 quid onto that car with tonsing it properly. I sort of rate the car. I know we got poor paintwork, I know that. So to make it nice, you got to paint it. Fair enough. A lot of money, £2 to £3 grand, probably at least, to paint it properly. So then you might be thinking, well, it's probably better to go out and spend 10 or 12 on a lovely one. But I don't know, is it? At least what you see is what you get. You know, you can quite easily see, well, I can quite easily see that it don't appear to be full of filler. So I think it's got the basis of a really good resto job. I think it's a good buy. My advice to people, come along and have a look at this car. If you want a Capri, you've got to take the time to come and look at it and probably be satisfied with one that maybe isn't as cosmetically immaculate as you would like, because there aren't that many to choose from. If you want a Mark II Jag, you could give £6,000 for one, or you can give £36,000 for one, and there are all sorts of conditions and all sorts of prices. With these, you're going to struggle to see more than 3 or 4 if you travel the length and breadth of the country. So when you've got the opportunity of buying a sound one like this, although it's not cosmetically mint, my advice is seriously think about it and get it bought.